You're staring at the ceiling at 2 o'clock in the morning. Your engagement scores came back at 85%. The board's happy. The dashboard says everything's fine. But you walk the hallways and you can feel it. Something's off. No metrics at your desk can actually tell you what it is. You're not paranoid. What you're sensing is real. The problem is that every tool and metric on your desk is like an autopsy report. It shows you where the damage landed, and not one of them is actually telling you where it started. I'm Shelley Smith. I've spent 35 plus years helping leaders see what their dashboards just can't show them. Not long ago, a CEO called me after his CFO had resigned. Came out of nowhere, he said. Her engagement scores were great, he said. I asked him one question. I said, when's the last time she actually told you something that you didn't want to hear? He got a little quiet. He paused. Because the answer was she used to, all the time. She used to push back hard. And that's what made her really invaluable. But somewhere along the way, she stopped and he never noticed. That silence was visible 9 months before the resignation letter. The engagement survey missed it completely. People ask me how I learned to spot this. And honestly, it started before my professional career. I was around 11 years old, up at 4:30 in the morning on a Saturday to go to work at my parents' flea market and auction house. My mom, during the week, was a dietitian, but on the weekend in the family business, the bookkeeper. She could spot problems 3 months before the ledger showed anything. The numbers said everything was fine, but she saw something else. My dad, he walked me around the vendors, 50-ish, 20 minutes of handshaking one by one. And only then did he actually put the cash box in my hands. I can still feel the weight of it. And what I've learned is holding that box is something that most organizations have forgotten. When you scale past the handshakes, when you replace the moments with meetings, the relationships with an org chart, that's when the trust starts to evaporate. And nobody feels it leaving until the people are gone altogether. The trust that doesn't transfer through the announcements, it transfers through those moments. I spent 35 plus years watching the same patterns play out in organizations and companies chasing the metrics while the culture dehydrated underneath. Different tools every decade, same failure. So I built a framework around those signals that those tools keep missing, the language that shifts, the energy that changes, the silence in the patterns, the things that predict the breakdown 9 to 12 months before the survey actually captures them. Here's what I want you to imagine. You're sitting in your next leadership meeting, and for the first time, you know what the silence means. You're not guessing, you know it. You can hear the they where it used to be we. You noticed who stopped contributing, and you know exactly what to do about it while there's still time for that conversation to be had. Not a resignation letter on your desk 6 months after rebuilding what walked out the door. That's what changes for my clients. A plant that was quietly breaking for years that becomes a top-rated location in their international conglomerate. A CFO who never saw ROI from a leadership development stands up in the room and says those 5 words that justify every dollar. And organizations that used to lose their best people build something that doesn't fall apart the day that they step back. If this sounds like the leader that you are, somebody who senses things are off before the data catches up, that's exactly who I work with. There's a conversation that you can start right from this page, not a pitch, just you telling me what you're seeing and me telling you whether the framework fits. My parents taught me that trust doesn't transfer through announcements. It transfers through moments. This can be one of those moments for you.